Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Lojak. We are previewing the main card of UFC 183 right now with Nick Kalikas from MMAOddsBreaker.com. Nick Kalikas, professional MMA odds maker and a consultant for numerous sports books. Also joining us over the phone from MMAOddsBreaker.com is MMA analyst Brad Tazchuk. Woodley and Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum making progress every fight right now. He is minus 125, though. That's down a bit from minus 140. Facing Woodley is definitely going to be his toughest challenge to date. He's undefeated. The question is, does he have the elite level skills, high enough level skills to beat Woodley, or at least to be a small favorite over Woodley to justify that kind of a line? Brad Tazchuk, what do you think?
I think that he will have the skills, because we're looking at this guy and he's still a 23-year-old fighter. Won't be 24 until October of this year, I believe. I just don't think he's quite there yet. You look at the guys that he's beaten before, and they all have a pretty clear sort of weakness. Obviously, Jake Ellenberger, not the greatest sub game. Also, his cardio suffers a little bit. Nico Masoke, not the greatest striker, although he looked all right this past weekend. Personally, I thought that he lost the Rick Story fight, and I had a bet on Gastelum in that fight as well. So you look at those guys and you compare them to Woodley, and Woodley's better in all aspects than pretty much any of those guys. Obviously, his cardio can be a bit iffy at times, but in terms of striking, I think that he's going to be a little bit of the more accurate striker, actually. Gastelum might be able to overwhelm him with volume, kind of like Rory McDonald did, but I see it playing out in the striking more like Woodley, Carlos Condit, rather than Woodley, Rory McDonald. So I like Woodley there. I really don't think that Gastelum's going to be able to get Woodley down. He's got phenomenal takedown defense. If anyone's getting takedowns here, it's Tyron Woodley. So I do like Woodley, and I definitely like him at the underdog price here.
Gastelum, of course, his whole career he's been underestimated, and now here he is as a favorite. Some people, I guess, thinking that he's overestimated as a favorite, but maybe once again, as a small favorite, he's being underestimated again. You don't see it that way. You think that finally he is actually being overestimated on the betting odds.
Yeah, I think he's being overestimated a little bit here. You know, he has put in good performances, but I do think this is a significant step up for him. You know, Jake Ellenberger was once rated quite highly in the welterweight division, but I think the gap between Jake Ellenberger and Tyron Woodley is significant.
Well, let's go to Nick Kalikas. You know, I would think that seeing the flashy victory, the flashy win over Ellenberger might lead the public to be a buyer on Gastelum, but recent action has been on Woodley, right, Nick?
Yeah, you're correct. Recent action, but overall, the action is still a little bit heavier on Gastelum.
Okay.
So the sports books, as it stands now, even with the line tightening up a little bit and dropping, they still need Gastelum. It's going to be a close fight. I mean, there's going to be, again, another spot where a lot of people are very opinionated on this fight, and there's going to be a lot of two-way action coming in. But you know what? Again, I agree with Brad, what he said here. Gastelum looked great against Ellenberger. I mean, it blew me away how fast and how good, effective he was able to be that early. And Gastelum's another one of these guys, like Brad said, he's going to keep on improving his overall game. I just think stylistically it's a bad matchup for him because Woodley is the better wrestler in this spot. He has tremendous amount of knockout power as well. And Gastelum has been checked a few times. I mean, he's been rocked. And Woodley has that kind of special knockout power bottom that, you know, once he lands one of those punches, I mean, another one follows up and you're pretty much out. So I think that it is a difficult matchup for Gastelum. I think, I'm sorry, Gastelum. I keep on saying Gastelum. So, but I do think it is. It's a tough one, and if he does get the W here, I mean, man, sky's the limit for him. He's going to continue to move up the ladder, but I'm not sure he is. I think it is a dog or pass situation, and I think there's probably value on Woodley. I do believe that, again, he's going to be the better wrestler. He has better takedown defense as well. Sometimes I think Woodley doesn't utilize that wrestling enough offensively, but definitely from a defensive perspective, he's able to keep things up. But the question mark here is if it hits the scorecards. I mean, again, every time when I'm on the show, we say the judges are that bad out there that even if you win a clear 30-27, a lot of times they'll give it to the other guy. So who knows the way they're going to score this fight. And Gastelum will be probably the busier fighter throughout. So if it hits the scorecards, it's going to be tricky, and it's going to be a concern for anybody that bets this fight either way. But I do think it's a dog or pass situation, and Woodley could have some value here.
But so basically, you see the line is likely to close about where it is right now with Gastelum, a small favorite, 120, 125, and you're probably expecting to have basically balanced action?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I think it might close a little bit higher for Gastelum because I think more of the overall public will agree that Gastelum's the up-and-coming fighter. He's the guy that's, you know, kind of be tends to be the trend right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did close a little bit higher than what it is now. I don't think the line's going to get ridiculous, though.
Okay.
But I do expect at some point more action to start coming back in on Gastelum.
And Brad Tazchuk, I also noticed that the under took some action. That might have been just because the line got up there. Over 2.5 was minus 170 a few days ago. Now it's down to minus 155. You see this one going the distance?
It's another tough one to call because Woodley is kind of unpredictable in his performances. As Nick said, he can land that one punch and guys go out. He's got that sort of crazy power. But at the same time, he does take some rounds off. He does take entire fights off at times. So, he could come out. He could blitz Gastelum with something, honestly, in the first minute and get the knockout. Or this could be a bit of a grind and go to decision. So I'd stay away from the total in this fight completely, to be honest with you. Okay,
but your pick on the fight at plus 105, you would bet Woodley. You think that's enough value there for you to want to bet it?
Yeah, I think he wins the fight. So if I can get any sort of plus money on him, I'm taking that.
Currently plus 105 is the line at 5 dimes. Thanks, guys.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.